Hi, I'm Dax Murphy, and today I want to talk to you about command and control leadership and why this style of leadership can no longer survive in today's environment. Hi, I'm Dax, and today I want to talk to you about command and control leadership. So, command and control leadership is by far the most common leadership strategy you will find in companies across the globe, even some of those companies that pretend that they don't have it. The fact is, this type of culture is the most common in most organisations across the world. So, first of all, I suppose, what is command and control leadership and management? And I suppose the best way to answer that would be is that command and control is based on establishing and maintaining power over and control of people and organisational processes. So, which on the surface, if you think about that, it sounds like a reasonably good idea, yeah? So you certainly don't want employees or your processes to be out of control. So the idea of controlling and commanding that sounds reasonable on the surface. However, this notion of being able to command and control people and processes can only ever go so far. So if you think about command and control, it's got a number of unspoken assumptions that drive its use. So if you think about what those assumptions will be, so command and control you would expect, so leaders have to know best, leaders have to know where they're going, and they must be able to develop the plan and develop the process to get there. You've got to assume that leaders can control human behaviour during the implementation, so that the implementation is delivered exactly to plan. You have to assume that the environment and the marketplace won't change that much to be a factor. And if it does change, then it's the leader's responsibility to control that influence as well. You've also got to assume in command and control that employees won't naturally contribute positively. So they won't naturally be fully engaged. So leaders must help them by commanding and controlling their behaviour and their involvement. So in effect, leaders must force and maintain people's cooperation. And then finally, you need to assume that if the plan changes or the environment changes, then it's to do with the leader that didn't work. And that is what command and control is. So can command and control, with all those assumptions, work? Well, I think very clearly, yes, it can in a very specific environment, because it has worked in the past. It worked in the 70s and the 80s and even a bit of the 90s. And if the working environment is protected from outside influences, so the outside environment is steady, it's relatively risk-free, and it's predictable. And then the challenges that a business face doesn't really demand too much from their people apart from learning new process or learning a new skill. And if the environment says that employees don't have to change that much, to be able to deliver on the plan, then yes, command and control can work. But at the beginning of this video, I said that it can't work in our current environment. And why is that? Well, let's be honest, yeah? The world we live in today is not risk-free. It's not predictable. Businesses and people need to change and adapt just to stay relevant. Never mind get ahead of their competitors. The world we live in today needs employees to be fully engaged. If businesses are just to even stay alive, never mind be number one. Command and control cannot flourish in our current environment. Command and control, if we try to continue to use it in our businesses in this day and age, you know what it will do? It will limit engagement, and it will limit the commitment from the employees and the followers of that business. And it will actually probably promote resistance from the employees as well. It will also lessen the chances of that business creating a process that will lead to success, because you're relying on a leadership team to create that process rather than an entire business. You'll also probably result in not being able to make real-time corrections that are necessary in optimum results while the environment is changing, because command and control is that the leader is always right, and being able to shift an entire business quickly is really hard in that environment. And it also reduces creativity, diversity, and it will virtually ruin any chance of success if we continue to use command and control in our businesses today. So what then is the solution? And honestly, there are far too many solutions for me to go through today. But I suppose there's an intention, and I think that's a good thing to kind of look at. So if we look at the relationship between employees, environmental factors, and leaders, then co-creating implies working with the employees, the environment, and the leadership. Operating as a team, aligned across functional boundaries in pursuit of what's best for the organisation, so you can move quickly with the best ideas coming from all areas. So leaders operating in a cooperative style view employees as partners, not just tools, which will mean that providing employees with correct information that can affect their role. It means that using employees' input and knowledge and creativity to influence the vision and direction of the business. Involving employees in the design process of the actual plan and the change requirements, and giving employees more decision-making authority. Effectively giving employees autonomy, giving employees trust, allowing them to work at their natural best. And you still have to provide people with a clear structure and a process for reporting, but trusting and autonomy is massively important, because our world has changed dramatically over this last 20 years. In this last 10 years, massively so, in every single respect. Command and control is an outdated strategy that just no longer can survive in our business world. We face more threats, we face more challenges, we need more creativity, we need more diversity and more change than ever before. Command and control cannot create any of those. Cooperation can. Hi, it's Dax again. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please could you do just one thing for me? What I'd like you to do is just share this video with somebody that you feel like it could help or resonate with. And then finally, just to let you know, my book, Emerging Leadership, is out now. And it's a book filled with advice with over 300 leaders. So I've interviewed over 300 people over the last 5 or 6 years, and this advice has been put into this book. It's easy to read, it's full of great advice, it's a pick up and read basically, so you have the challenge and the solution on 2 pages, and then you can read this at any time, so you don't have to read the whole thing. You can just pick it up, look for your particular challenge and read through it and get some world-class advice from director level leadership. I'll share the link down below. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week.